Well, we avoided World War III for now. So we're getting a big recovery from, we had World War III prices last night. We had crude up 3, 4 bucks, gold up 40, 30, $40, S&Ps down 75 handles. And even though we're getting a recovery in the S&Ps, I may as well start there, but I'm going to also go to the FX market because, my view and my positioning has changed in the dollar. I'm actually short the dollar from a couple days ago. Also took profits on the remaining longs. If you checked into our main room, you would have seen the posts, you would have seen the charts, which I explain why. I can't rule out one more push up in the dollar to challenge the highs and one more push down in euro towards 105.20. I'll show you how I come up with it. But let's start off with the S&Ps. And if you were in our main room or listened to the videos, the short in the S&Ps came in between 52 and 52.20. That was up here. That was after this Thursday big down day. That was a negative signal to me, and I said sell the next rally between 52 and 52.20. It played around with it into the eclipse, and then I talked about once we took out 51.49, the weekly moving average, that there was a lot of room underneath the market for there to be a sell-off. So we took out the 23.6 level at 49.70 last night. When I was talking about a correction, I was talking about, 48 is going to be important. But maybe we pull back to the two, this is a week, but the 200-day is going to come in around 4,700, which is halfway back. That would kind of negate the breakout. But short term, what I think could happen here now that we posted this low is that we get a rally back. This may have completed just the first wave, which was a pretty good wave, about 360 handles. So the next one, if it's 1.618, could be like 500 handles. So if we get up to 51, should not take out 51.70. But if we get a rally back to 51 to 51.50, I'd sell that rip. And even if you're a bull, this could just be an A with a B to the upside and one more decline into May to complete it. If it's just a correction, if it's a crash, that's a different story. But I think there'll be, after this recovery, at least one more decline into some of those fib levels that I talked about. So let's go to the euro now. And if you've been following my stuff, 106 was a big level for me because on the euro, that was 78% back. You can see it on the daily. Okay, 78.6, 105.90, close enough for government work. I had the dot here, and this could have been it. But I'm thinking if there is some type of shift that occurs here in yields too. You also noticed last night, yields, when the market was getting hammered, you had the 10-year yield down sharply. So it broke all the way to 450 before recovering here. And, didn't have a chance to see TLT trade, but let's see if it's working. It looks trying to work its way back into the wedge. We need a close over here. 90 would be better, fill this gap that it left on the way down here. We also have a refunding package. So I'm going to wait for next week to take any positions. But this is also very important in the bonds that we begin to hold here. I believe we took out 61.8 here. But back in the formation on a close is a green light with stops under the low. That perhaps we're going to get something like that. And I would assume that, risk off might be part of it. So that's something to look at. The 10-year pushing up against the highs, had a decent week, but so far 468 was a number I brought up on the live stream on Monday. That was a high. So we're getting a second lower high here in the 10-year. And back under this 450 level, you could be looking for 430. And under 430, you could be looking for 4%. So I still think we're on the verge of yields peaking, and that may already be happening, but I'm just going to wait till next week. Never try and make your week on a Friday unless there's like major news like an NFP. So there are the yields. There's the S&Ps. We're going to sell a rip, looking for a turn in yields, looking for TLT to turn, because if we don't turn here, and this is a little closer look, so we're in it. Let's see if we close in it. You know, still a long day. Um, but if we don't, okay, and that yields are still going to be pressured by, I don't know what's going to be, will still, you know, could still be strong economic data, but then you have to go the weekly. Because if we don't hold here, we're going to have a flush in the bonds to under the October lows for drive 3. So when I look at this, I say the pattern's incomplete and we need one more washout here, but I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt because we have been correcting since this first rally since December. So we've had in time, you know, a 5-month correction that could be a great buying opportunity. Let it prove itself. You can see I had the red dot there for quite a while. So let's get back to the euro. So the euro right now is kind of putting in a reversal week, but let's look at something like the 2-hour. So I really don't expect it on this turn to get over 107.30. And if we stall up here at under 106.80, you just take the low of 106 and the high of 106.90, which, you know, looks like it wants it. And then subtract it on a breakdown, 90 points from 106.10 gives you 105.20. So that's, you know, where I'd be looking to buy euro. I have some Dixie shorts. I already took partial profits, put that trade on in the room, I believe right around 106.23. I didn't get the high, but I would actually welcome one more high if we're going to get it. Really, what's going to seal this initially was going to be closes over under 580, and definitely under 105 is going to seal the deal for right up here. Look at it daily. Going to seal the top in the dollar. Okay, so you know, you had this line right here. 105 is important. I don't know why I had this line up here. Must have been a breakdown to the left. Yeah. So kind of an ugly day. You know, so that could have been it up there. I mean, it's talking 106.70. We got to 650. So we'll see what happens over the weekend. Cable as well, putting in a nice reversal day today. Didn't quite get to the target. I was looking for about 123.40, and we got down to 124. Not a bad looking day that we're having here. There still could be one more shoe to drop. Aussie got very close to 63 and a half. It got to 63.60. So we'll see if this is marking the low in all these currencies. Canada, you know, you have a confirmed high here on the daily. I think even do on some of the shorter term stuff. I was thinking we might have one more high in Canada. We did confirm on the 4-hour, so that's possible. We get one more high in Canada. Started to top lower, but looking to short that as well, looking to buy all these currencies. The only dollar position I have on right now is Dixie. And, you know, if you took the sell, you could take a piece off over the week here and make 30, 40 pips and hope that there's one more decent rally to the upside in that. So we're getting the metals have really been wild. You know, we were up $40 and we gave it back, and people really not wanting to be short over a weekend. Here you go on the silver. So here's how I come up with a account in silver. Basically, you have a $2 break from here. This is let's call it 2760 and 29. I call it 220. So 28 looks to be the line in the sand for a breakdown. Subtract 2 and you get 26, which was a breakout. It should probably hold above the breakout, say 2650, because everyone's going to be waiting for this number. So it'd be more bullish, and I think this would be about 38% back of this big wave. And basically, this wave started at 22, went to 30. That's $8. So if we end up with 1.618, from there, it's going to give you about 13. 12 to 13 is going to give you $38, $40 silver. So we're getting some weakness in equities still, especially, you look at NVIDIA. I thought might have a chance to roll one more time to the upside, certainly look like a triangle. If you remember my videos from last Tuesday and Thursday and Friday, I was talking about I wouldn't be long Microsoft. That was up here. And I said, if Amazon caves, the market's going to have some problems. It caved. So looking forward to next week's trades. If you were short from 5,200 in the S&P, you had a great month this week. Remember to bring the register on something all the time and be prepared. Maybe the dollar continues to slide and gives the S&P a chance to rally back to 5120 sometime next week. And one other thing I want to point out, I had a discussion with a trader friend of mine, is that Euro, when you look at it, it's really been trading very well. You didn't have a big decline on any of the risk off. Last night when we were selling off dramatically in the S&Ps, Euro wasn't down that much, 20, 30, and it held. It kind of reminds me of how the gold was acting when the kitchen sink was being thrown at gold with higher yields and a stronger dollar and for a year. And they really couldn't take gold down. It couldn't break out, but it couldn't go down. I'm getting the same kind of message in Euro with everything that's going on. So this may have been it. Don't expect perfection at the crap table. And that's why I booked my dollar longs over 106 and put dollar shorts on over 106. And I'm not going to be filled with fear if we rally up to, up to around 106.80 or so, try and take those highs out again, because I'll be wrong over 107.70. I'll give the 107.40 high the benefit of the doubt in case it's just a stop hunt. But, your stops are here, okay, over this high. Because if we get over, this is 107.34, and we're starting to look what could be a reversal week, then something else is happening. Then it's negating, and that also is going to be 78% back of this decline here at 106. And we almost got there. I mean, 20 points away, that's close enough. So a big turn in the dollar happening, I think, unless we start taking out these highs on a closing basis. So I hope some of my stuff has helped you this week, and Mike's stuff I know helps traders every day. It's our mission to build up and edify traders every day. And I hope we have a mission accomplished. And we'll see what happens over the weekend. But some important inflection points. We do have a full moon. So astronomically, there's something, I think it's on Monday night. So maybe there's some turnaround Tuesday trades that could set up for either scalps or for these major positions that I'm talking about. Good hunting, do your work over the weekend, and Mike and I and Alexis will see you in the room. Don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Adios.